All right, we're here with welterweight contender Jessie Vargas. Jessie, thanks for joining us for a few minutes here.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I just wanted to catch up with you a little bit. Your opponent was just named. I know you were shooting for one of the big dogs out there. Juan Manuel Marquez or Manny Pacquiao. Instead, you'll be facing an undefeated fighter, much like yourself. I don't want to pronounce the name wrong, but Wale Omatoso from Australia, 23-0, obviously heavy-handed, 19 knockouts. What, if anything, do you know about this guy?
Well, I mean, I pretty much know that he's 23-0, 19 KOs. He's undefeated, so he's going to come to fight. As much as his power, I'm not too worried about it. I don't think he's much superior than I am in power. I think, when it comes to power, I think we're both about the same. I feel that I've been against durable fighters and that have been able to go the distance with me, but that's the difference between a durable opponent and another fighter that you just you get him just to get him out of there. But Omato's going to come to fight. It's going to be a great matchup come March 16th. I'm going to surprise him. There isn't anything to it. He's coming into this fight and he's going to be shocked with what I have, with what he has in front of him.
Right. Now, people seem to forget that you're just 23 years old. It seems like you've been around forever. But, you're starting to catch a little bit of, and not from you, because obviously you've been calling out, the Juan Manuel Marquez and people like that. But people are starting to criticize your opponents a little bit and saying you need to step it up. How do you think Omatoso stacks up? I mean, obviously the record's nice, but he's still relatively unknown, most of his fights being in Australia. How do you think he stacks up as far as the, some of the opponents you faced lately? Do he step up, or is he, kind of a parallel, or, on the same level as some of your recent guys?
He's in his prime. The fighter's in his prime. He's 27 years old. He's undefeated. He has a very good record. He has a, it seems from what his record shows, it seems like he has a nice punching power. So I would say he has a, to tell you the truth, I'm just looking at him as another fighter, another fighter on my list. But I guess if you see it on paper, he's I guess a better opponent than some of the past. But then again, just the reason that he's undefeated, because I've been against ex-world champions. I've fought against undefeated fighters in the beginning of my career, and any undefeated fighter doesn't want to lose. So it's you always have to take that will out of them, and this is nothing different, really. I'm preparing the best way possible for this fight, and for that reason, I'm not really worried. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do what I have to do, and come out victorious. I'm coming out 22-0 after that fight.
Yeah, that's what's kind of interesting. You mentioned him being in his prime. How is it different, even though they might be at the same levels, but when you have one on the way up and one on the way down, you have a guy that's undefeated, as opposed to someone that's, been a world champion or a really good fighter before, but maybe not at their peak anymore, like a Steve Forbes or, Leonardo Tyner or someone like that. So how does it compare fighting someone up and coming and hungry as opposed to someone that maybe has seen their best days, but are still, tough outs?
Yeah. Well, you learn it's different. It's a different task with every fighter in front of you. With the seasoned veteran, you have to watch out for his experience. He has a lot of experience on his side, right? With the ex-world champion, and you learn from it. And I've been with ex-world champions. I've been with young, hungry fighters. So, I've been there, and this is gonna be, like I repeated, nothing different. This guy's just, I'm sure he wants to come to win. He doesn't want to lose, but my mentality is very strong, and he's not going to break it. It doesn't matter how he prepares for this fight, because I'm preparing to the best of my ability. I have a great training camp. My trainer, Robert Alcazar, is a great trainer, and we're putting on a great game plan that's have 2 or 3 different types of styles that we're going to be ready for. And, I'm excited. I'm stoked. This is a great opportunity. After this fight, we're gonna, I'm hoping to get a shot at the world title.
Now, as I mentioned, you had called out and thought you were in the mix for Marquez and possibly Pacquiao for the next fight. Any disappointment at all? I know you're you're focused on task at hand. But any disappointment in not getting the call for one of those fights?
Not at all. I mean, of course, I would have loved the opportunity, but you know, there's a reason. There's a reason things don't happen. You know, and I just like to believe that there's a reason that that fight with Marquez or Pacquiao didn't happen. Maybe it just wasn't my time. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll get 1, 2 more fights, and then I get the opportunity. You know what I mean? I leave it in God's hands. I just put in my work, put in the work in the gym, and whenever I get the opportunity, I'm just gonna be ready for it.
Now, I know you're not looking past this guy. You know, you'd be foolish to look past the guy that's undefeated. But, you know, should you come out of this unscathed, is it finally the time that we see Jessie Vargas in there against, you know, an elite top-level fighter?
Well, I guess, you know, this fight you're going to see a great performance by Jessie Vargas. Also, I'm sure Wally's, like I repeated, he's going to come and fight, and that's going to make for a great fight. So first and foremost, I would like for everyone to tune in to this fight, March 16th. You know, it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be fireworks. And, you know, after this fight, you can put me in the books, wherever it is that you like, like number 5, 4, 3, 2. You know what I mean? I can't really say, you know, it's up to the fans to say where we're at.
Right. So we're basically a month out of the fight. You know, as far as your training camp goes, are you just like, you know, full out right now? What exactly are you doing in preparation for the fight at this date?
I'm sorry? What are we doing now?
You know, like we're basically a month away from the fight. You know, as far as your training camp goes, you know you're fighting, you're a month out. So just explain, you know, your basic training camp, what you do on a typical day right now.
You know, we're working a lot of power. We're working speed. We're working nice, strong footwork. Just a little bit of everything. You know, we're maintaining weight at a good. You know, we want to control the weight as of now, in which we are, and you know, we just the game plan. That's all we're working on. It's just the game plan. You know, we're a month away from it, and you know, we're pretty much in good shape. You know, we're ahead of schedule, so that's perfect because we get to take days off when we want to, when we need them, and you know, everything's right on schedule.
All right, and then just 2 real quick off-topic questions, and we'll let you get back to work here. First of all, just your thoughts. You know, since you used to be there with you know, over at you know, Mayweather's, thoughts on Floyd switching trainers from Roger, who's apparently having some health issues, and going back to his father, Floyd Sr.
Well, I mean, Floyd's a smart man. You know, there's a reason he did it. I mean, maybe Roger wasn't healthy enough to train him. I don't know the case. I hope the best. I hope Roger gets well. I hope he gets better. But you know, he did it because most likely he did it because I mean, Roger's possibly sick right now, and I mean, he needs to bring in his dad, and that's a good idea because you know, if you don't have your ankle, I mean, next person close to you is your father, right? Your father or your uncle.
Right.
You know? He's a smart man. He's having family on the side, people he can trust. And, you know, I wish him the best. I hope he comes out victorious in his next bout.
You know, one thing that fans always say is that, you know, Floyd's been around so long and he's so good and you know, he's been around long enough that he basically trains himself. As a fighter, is that, you know, obviously you're on the way up and is still learning, but do you agree with that someone like Floyd Mayweather can kind of train himself at this point and who trains him, his official trainer, is kind of irrelevant?
He is, you know, one of the few fighters that can train himself. I mean, that is true. He is smart. He studies his opponent. He knows what punches they're going to work for him, and he just basically practices himself. From what I saw in him, and he runs it. You know, he's a smart fighter. He doesn't need anyone telling him. Maybe every now and then someone will need to remind him, like Roger did. You know, certain moves but yeah, he's an individual that can train himself.
Right.
But he does need someone to hit the mitts with, you know, and he does need that type of work. So he also does he does need a trainer as well.
Right. All right, and this last question, just switching back to Top Rank here. Obviously you didn't get the call. You have any inside info, or if not, who would you like to see Marquez and Pacquiao fight when they make the return?
Who would I like? Well, you have a couple names out there. I'd like to see Brandon Rios, with Marquez or Pacquiao. At 47, who else would be good? I'd like to see Jessie Vargas in there. Who else? Let's see. I mean, you got a couple names out there.
Yeah. All right, Jesse. Well, just again, just tell the folks where you said March 16th. Anything else you want to add? Where can the folks catch it? And as far as following you and that kind of stuff.
This was tuning in March 16th on HBO. The fight is going to be at the Home Depot Center as a co-main event to the Bradley main event. So I hope that you could tune in. It's going to be a great fight, and thank you for the support. All the fans that I have on my side, I want to thank you for the support, and I hope you continue to enjoy my upcoming fights.
All right, Jesse, appreciate that, and best of luck to you.